Yeah, what's up? What's going on? You already know, man. It's Remo Marak here in the building. You already know it's another episode of ReemTV, the exclusive. Nonetheless, you already know, like I said, I'm aiming at all the top tier today's hip hop figures and influences in the game and the past influence in games are. To my right, oh man,
which one am I?
Oh man, no, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean,
what am I?
Cause you've been, you've been in it for a minute, son.
Yeah, it's been some time.
You did some due diligence. Let's keep it a buck. You did some due. Nonetheless, you already know this is Mr. Mecca, hip hop journalist, host, media personality, litany of things under this man has done. Litany, like literally. Hey, you even got me coughing. Litany.
He's allergic to the word.
Yeah, right. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, what I do with this media, I aim for the ones that need to be heard. Or, like, you understand, yeah, cool, all right, 100K followers, whatever. I could chase for that too. But there's a reason with this. There's a reason why I got this man. This man is like an epitome of what it is to be a hip hop figure. You understand? Like, this is real straight facts. I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, thank you.
No, facts. No, it gotta be said. There's too much. We had saw each other the other day. We was at where? We was at the New York West Fest soiree, and I explained to him. I said, "Yo, I want him on the show. We gotta get rid of this fuck shit that's going on. I hate to say it. Too many people lying. Too much undercover shit. This man gets to the shits. You know what I mean? Real rap, Mac. Yo, real rap, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Then let's get straight to the first question. Yo, like, let's take us into your career, man. Like, how does it feel to be of that type of figure? Like
it doesn't.
Oof. Okay. Go into that.
You start off, you do the work, and you keep doing the work, and then 10, 15 plus years later, somebody looks at you and says, "Oh shit, you're a legend." And I'm the same guy I was then. You know, I've grown.
Okay.
I've learned.
Okay.
My principles haven't changed though.
All right.
My standpoint has adjusted, but it hasn't switched. I believe the basis of having standards, principles, and morals is the fact that they maintain despite the times. They're not supposed to switch with them.
Right.
The basic plumbing of the guy that I am is the guy I've always been. I just added on extra rooms to the house. But I look at me as the same guy. I know a little bit more now. I can tell some people some more stuff now. I've learned some things the hard way. Learned a bunch of shit the easy way. I was able to just watch how it went. But I mean, I feel fine.
Come on, man.
I don't even know what
Come on, man. Fine?
I feel fine.
Fine, dude. You come on, man. Like, you ain't gonna tell me just fine, just chill.
I feel.
Is that fine and chill based off of what you feel you accomplished thus in your career? Is that like sometimes in most of our careers or any individual that has had a lengthy career, they get to that zone after a while. Like, okay, you know what? I hit the bucket list, or I hit certain things in my career. I could be at this point right now. Like, is that what that is for you?
Well, I'm not content.
Okay.
I'm not content.
Okay.
Comfortable. I'm comfortable with what I've done. I can look back over my track record and be happy at the things that I've been able to pull off. And God's grace has allowed me to see some things and do some things and be in some good principle, be in some good company.
Okay.
I'm not content.
All right.
I'm not done by any.
Right. No.
And when I say done, I don't mean done as in washed. I mean done as in doing stuff. Like, there's still stuff that I'd like to knock out. There's a handful of things that I'd love to get an opportunity to do. Right. And once those are done, there'll be another handful of things that I'd like to do. Creatives are not meant to retire. Okay. One thing I will call myself, all the other titles are cool, but I'm a creative first and foremost. I always have an idea, can always come up with something. There's always something to make. Right. Creatives are not supposed to walk around here thinking that they have an off switch, that you actually retire. That's not how creative worlds work. Right. Artists in general, in the term of artists. Period. No. Right. Creatives in general. Okay. You do it to death. You do it. The goal is to do it to death. Now, the ultimate goal is to be able to do it until you die. Right. But the goal of any gift is to give it away. You're not supposed to keep it. All creatives, all great creatives, go till they're dust. You're supposed to move till you die. James Brown died on Christmas on his way to a show. Charlie Parker died on his couch writing sheet music. Michael Jackson died getting ready for another tour. Prince died in an elevator going down to the studio. There is no cutoff date for this. You go until it's over. Gregory Hines died going. You think what I mean? The whole point is to go. So I don't. With that said, I never look towards a ceiling or a limit for what I'm supposed to do. I'm just supposed to go, and I guess the accolades are all behind me. Right. There are future accolades to get, but once you get them, you don't stop there. You keep moving. Your accolades should always be in your rear view. That's a fact. It should always be what you've done already. That's a fact. You look back. There's nothing wrong with looking back and going, yeah, I did that. That was cool. Right. I did the fuck out of that. That was dope. Oh, I love that I got that done. That was an ill moment. That was dope. But eyes forward, young man. There's some more to do. All right, Max. Yo, man, take us into this. How you put together one of the dopest groups in hip hop, Slaughterhouse. Take us into that, man. I'll do this as fast as I can because it's a long story. Right. Okay. Swagger Like Us was out at the same time. And there was this trend where dudes would get on a really popular beat and just ride it to death. Like a bunch of dudes would all do the same beat. Right. My idea, I was at the Source at the time, and Source.com was doing this thing, and I wanted to be innovative. I wanted to start creating shit and just get to the forefront, which I felt the Source always should be doing. Right. So my idea was to go get the 4 craziest lyricists that I had in my phone, like the 4 that I knew. And I knew a bunch of rappers, but I wanted like apex predator level MCs, and that would be Joe Budden, Royce the 5'9", Crooked, etc., etc. The problem was Royce and Joe were kind of nursing this little beef, a little bit of a friction. Okay. Never really got all the way there, but it was a bit of a friction because of a battle that happened at SOBs where Joe didn't show up, and the fans started kind of clamoring for the friction to happen. So I got Royce on the phone, and Royce was still at the time in his alcohol thing. He was a big fan of Patron. He's sober now, but he was a big fan of Patron, and he was like naturally angry and aggressive a lot. That's that Detroit shit. I called him. I told him what the idea was. He was like, "That's dope. That sounds really, really dope." I wanted them to record, 4 verses for 4 MCs. I wanted them to record something so crazy. The idea was they would make something so nasty that nobody else would be able to approach it. Nobody else would even want to touch that beat, and it would effectively close that beat out. And if that worked, then I would keep the party going. So when I got Royce on the phone and told him about it, he was like, "All right, well, who else did you get?" I was like, "Fuck, I was hoping he wouldn't ask me that." Damn. So I told him, and I told him Joe Budden's name last. And he was like, "Who?" And I said, "Joe Budden." He said, "What did Joey say?" I didn't talk to Joey yet. But I lied, and I said, Joey said, "If you cool, he's cool." Dope ass. So I lied. Because a lot of, not to interrupt you, a lot of fuck people in what we do stupid lies. They do idiot lies. Well. Right. But what you did was for the sake of the culture, was for the sake of something that you wanted to innovate. I kind of had I have a relationship with Joe Budden. Right. I really didn't think that he had an issue. It really felt like more of a fan thing. My only thing was, would he put his pride to the side long enough to get the work done?
Right.
That was my only thing. I didn't plan on any of them being in the same room.
Right.
So they didn't have to be best friends. They just needed to send me verses.
Right.
So then when I called Joe, after I told that to Royce, Royce says to me, alright, that's cool. Because I wasn't really thinking about no beef shit anyway. But tell Joey if he come out his face, I'll smack the shit out of him. I was like, nigga, well, some aggressive ass threat like that, I'll break his jaw, smack shit out of him, something nuts. I was like, motherfucker. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll tell. That'll get this thing off to a good start. That's exactly what I'll say. So then I called Joe. Only person who jumped right in was Crook.
Okay.
Crook was like, how many bars of death we spitting? Those were his exact words.
Shout out to Crook, man.
I still have Crook's verse in my email as we speak. The verse for that track. I still have the verse.
That's gold.
Yeah, it's sitting there.
That's gold.
And then I called Joe and I told him. And Joe said the same thing. What did Roy say? And I said, Roy said, if you ain't beefing, he's not beefing. And Joe said, you know what? Good. Because I always felt like that shit was more the fans than us. I really didn't think that we had no problems like that. Like, I've always actually respected Royce, and he's always dope on the mics. I didn't really, I thought that the idea of beefing with him was kind of silly.
Right.
And I was like, great, send me the verse. And I hung the phone up, and I had like victory in my heart, and I was feeling on top of the world. And then my phone rang again, and I picked it up, and it was Joe Budden, and he was like, yo, let me get Royce's number. First he said, let me get Crook's number. Give me Crook's number. I said, sure, fine. Here you go. Send him Crooked Eye's number. And he called back a few minutes later and said, yo, let me get Royce's number too. And I was like, fuck. Because he's going to call and find out that I was lying. Fuck. Like, he's going to get on the phone with Royce, so it's going to take us a few words to go the wrong way. And I stalled my ass off trying not to give him that number.
Right.
But eventually I did.
Right.
And when I say eventually, I mean like a few minutes later I gave him the phone number. And I was just kind of watching my phone.
Just to make sure.
Like, oh God, here comes the call. Oh God, here comes the beef. Oh God, what did I do? And they never called me back.
Nice.
Neither of them called me back.
Nice.
Not
Godsend.
Yeah,
nice.
Not that day. However they had a conversation, however it started, they ended up being like cool as fuck.
I mean, hey man, thank God, because dear Lord, I mean, I've always felt, for me, they're definitely in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody says. I mean, yeah, granted, I've only been 6 years in media, whatever the case, so be it. But at the end of the day, end of the hour, real is real. And for you to even not even remind you, but I'm just saying for an individual, you know what I'm saying, to remotely not even fathomly put them in a top 5 as far as groups. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, I'm sorry, opinions are opinions, true, but if we're going to go on ear test, if we're going to go on what you've seen, their movement and all that, like, yo, they was scaring a lot of fucking people when they got together.
This is the reason why I try not to get into too many random top 5 questions.
Right.
Because everyone's going to have their own criteria. I've realized in my years that some people put a lot of emphasis on things that others don't give a fuck about. There are a lot of people who, when you start mentioning top 5, top 10, they include record sales. It's not really about talent. Then it becomes about impact. Then who had the biggest impact? You know what I'm saying? You start getting on that shit. Now me, I'm a lyricist guy first. I've never made any bones about that. Lyricism for me is the end all, the be all. If you can't rap, we don't need to talk about nothing else. So my top 5 is always lyricist. However, if we start talking about, if your criteria is who's had more impact in the game, well then one of mine is probably going to come out for somebody like Tupac, who has been dead for over 20 years and who is still touching the game. Biggie, same thing. Big L might have to come out because Tupac had more influence than Big L. But Jay is still there because he's had massive influence.
Jesus Christ.
So you start, but then who influenced them? Now my catalog goes back far enough where I know that there's a lot of Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z. But if you don't know that, then you're not including them. I know there's a lot of Rakim and Nas. But if you don't go back far enough, you don't know that. So my top 5 starts looking kind of fuzzy. and you start judging it out by eras because people were, okay, now we're talking record sales, okay, cool. But sales were different from era to era to era. Then technology came along and threw a monkey wrench in that whole shit, so we can't even really judge sales anymore. Yeah. Now it's just streams. But streams ain't nothing but the new ringtones.
Right.
Back when ringtones was like the thing to have. Mm-hmm. So now what are we doing? You know what I mean? So that's why I always keep my top 5 criteria to talent alone. And if we start talking about talent, yes, Slaughterhouse makes it in my top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Individually and as a group, they're 4 of the most talented artists.
Come on.
4 of the most talented lyricists that we've had. And what I don't like is when we start substituting other things for lyrical ability. Because your favorites can't create lyrics. You start including people with all these subsections, and it, for me, it goes back to how we started this conversation. Your standards are not supposed to drop and switch with the times. They're supposed to maintain in spite of them. Right. My bar is here. It's unfortunate if you come in under that bar. My bar to be entertained in hip hop is here.
Yeah, it's hard.
And this is where you have to be. And if you come in under this, I'm not gonna start giving you talent. I'm not gonna start giving you points for talent that for me is irrelevant. Well, he knows how to get his name out there. He can't rap. He knows how to come up with good dances. He can't rap. Well, he can pick good beats. He can't rap. Well, he's very influential over the youth. He can't fucking rap. He can't rap. He can't rap. He can't rap. He can't rap good enough to entertain me. Well, he makes good club bangers. He can't rap. Your boys, every revolution of these cats who, not revolution is the wrong word, but every manifestation of somebody else's favorite comes in under the bar, and they want to give reasons why he deserves to be in the upper echelon. Now, he doesn't. That doesn't stop him from being your favorite. Shouldn't stop him from being your favorite. Nobody's telling you that your favorite sucks. If your favorite is whack and it's not whack to you, nothing else
cool,
matters.
because it's the feeling.
Nothing else matters. You're having a good time with your favorite. Enjoy yourself. Right. Player, but my dudes, the people who make it into my favorite, because I came up in an era. Here's how I explain it to everybody. We can end it on this. Okay. Here's how I explain it to everybody. What makes more money, McDonald's or Tavern on the Green? It's McDonald's.
It's McDonald's. Easy.
What's more popular, Wendy's or the Four Seasons?
Nah, Wendy's.
Right. Who does more business, Popeyes or STK or Peter Luger's Steakhouse?
Nah, Popeyes.
Right. Which one makes better food, the first one or the second one?
Nah, the second.
The second one in everyone, right? But if you don't know that,
right?
If you don't know that,
right,
then it doesn't matter to you. However, you can't talk to somebody who's used to Tavern on the Green, STK, Peter Luger's Steakhouse. You can't tell them
that McDonald's
is fine dining, that's good food.
Right.
You know why? Because they have standards.
And they've been accustomed to them.
Their standards didn't come down because this thing got more popular. Mm-hmm. Sure, this other thing makes way more money. It's way more popular. It's in way more locations. Way more people hear about it. Just so happens that shit will also kill you. Where this other shit is actually good for you.
Oh, man.
And yes, this other one, they don't do a whole bunch of business. They don't do as much business compared to these places. However, those who know, if they have a choice, they know that this is worth it.
Damn.
And they know this one's not. And your standards are not supposed to come down. So if I'm used to Peter Luger's, you can't tell me that a Big Mac is something that I should be looking forward to. It's just not.
Yo, Mac, let everybody know where to follow you, man.
I'm at Mr. Mecca on everything. That's MRMECC. I host the M&M Show podcast with my co-host Crystal Levin. We interview people and talk about sex, hip hop, and culture. So just come on down. I'm over here. Mechanism. I'm not even gonna do all that.
Yeah, right. Hey, it is what it is.
I'm gonna get into the business side. I also do PR work, but this isn't for that. So
yeah, right.
I'm around.
Yo,
I'm around.
brother. Please, thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you already know, man. Another episode, ReemTV exclusive. You heard? Hot early.